Went to get pigs the other day, loaded up a Forester with a dog kennel in the back seat, drove to the mainland, put the pigs in it. They had diarrhea immediately. So then we drove home, quite a long and smelly drive. When we got back, the pigs escaped immediately, beyond the perimeter fencing, and out into the backwoods. So that's this video. The second in the bottom. Winter is really, really long, but when it goes, it goes. It is glorious outside right now. We are just waiting for that grass to grow over there because it didn't warm up for a long time, but I can see now that the grass is growing up pretty quickly. And let's go check on the sheep before we go. So you can see that the sheep are down here in the bottom part of the lawn. When we first got them, we put them up. The shelter was up at the top of the house, and Dominic has been kind of corralling them around to get to the bottom of the lawn so they get access to the grass. We do have the pasture in the back that we've been growing, but it's been so cold that the grass isn't tall enough yet, so he doesn't want to put them out there until at least next Saturday.
So we're making a very super temporary pig pen here, just to leave them in for a week or so to get them used to the hot wire. So all I'm using is free materials because lumber's too expensive. So I just made a couple of shortened stakes because I'm only going to put like one strip of wood around, about 6 inches off the ground or 8 inches off the ground, and then have the hot wire inside of that, just so the pigs can't. Same as last year. It's the wire is what they should be learning from. And then the wood is just there as a physical thing that they can see, so that if they do get hit with the wire, they're not tempted to run to the wood, they're tempted to run back in.
It's looking good. I think this is going to be a good pig pen. So last year when we got our pigs for the first time, we didn't have the garden started yet. So we put them up in the garden and the pigs tilled that all up. But obviously we have our garden in there now. So Dominic is building this to kind of house the pigs at first and till that area up and train them to the wire, most importantly.
Today we're going to use some of those old mink cages to make a temporary shelter for the pigs that we're getting. They'll only be in there for about a week while they get trained to the wire, and they're going to tear up the corner for me down there, and then they'll be going into the main area, into those woods over there, to start clearing that out for me. We're just going to make something that's going to do us for a couple weeks while they're small, out of this old stuff. Reclaimed mink cages from the 1960s, I think they were built originally. So some of them, the wood is pretty rotten. It just has to basically hold together for a couple of days. So we're just going to use 3 of these to make a U-shape. And then I'm going to unearth some of my roofing metal over there to put on top. Ahead of schedule. Is it really cool in there? Alright, so we got a couple of pieces of the step there Jeannie has, Martin brought down for us. I'm going to put this part across the front, and then we're going to lay on these 2 pieces of metal to drain off the back the water that falls on top. So, and then stuff that full of hay, and that's going to be totally well large enough for 3 little piglets that are just weaned. So, and we're actually a full day ahead of schedule. Oh, I think I forgot to hit record, but here's the temporary pig shelter. So, just some old scrap pieces of metal roofing. The biggest expense was 6 self-tapping screws. So about $3.
Quite often Dominic's been going outside and one of the sheep is oh, is she back in?
Nope.
No. And has wandered outside of the perimeter here, so we have to get her back in. I tried earlier, but I couldn't. Oh, that's how she's getting out.
Yeah.
Okay, Dominic is leaving today to get the pigs. First thing that we need to do is get this dog kennel into the back of the Forester.
If you don't know, pigs get car sick. And last year when we were bringing them home, they puked in the car and it was not pleasant. Let me tell you. It was not a nice smell.
Yeah, and they puked at the beginning of the trip. They got car sick immediately and threw up, and then he had to drive quite a ways with pigs in the back of the Forester. And it was awesome. They are on the road. I just got word that they picked up the pigs. They're very cute. They're in the back of the Forester. They've already pooped everywhere and puked, so the car will never be the same. So next year we'll make sure that we're taking the trailer instead of the Forester. And so I'm just gonna run around and check on everybody in here. Make sure we're not too hot. They look a little hot. Okay, I just looked down the driveway and Dominic and Amanda are here with the pigs. How was that?
I've got bad news for your car. Hope you got nice long rubber gloves.
Like 2 colors that complement each other.
I'll go get you your milk.
Brunette and first. Ready?
Like, I mean, yeah.
I didn't know what was the difference between Genie screeching and pig. Look, Daddy's gonna pull another pig out.
Okay. What just happened? All 3 of them are out. The pigs left the pen they were in, and then they got into the perimeter fencing, and then they got out of the perimeter fencing. So Dominic has got some food and he's trying to lure them back in. I'm gonna go and just double check that the fence is on. Right, yeah, I got it. The second and the bottom. Ooh. Yeah, the bottom and this are all the wires. Okay, they told me to go and grab these alligator clips and hook them up. Then he said, don't hook them up. Do I just hook them all up? I don't know what I'm doing. I know, what are they doing right now?
Trying to push them back down.
Up, got it. Both? Okay, it's good. They are successfully inside the fence. And the bottom wire is now electrified. So now,
Jenny, move down that way. Or maybe stand and close the gate first.
close the gate, good idea.
Don't touch the
Go towards Jenny.
Towards him? Okay, I don't have the gate
Go in the house, guys. Go in the house.
Go, yeah. Oh, look at them going. And so they're all running around. Fortunately, they're inside the pasture area now, which is the electrified, even though they can just move in and out of it. So they're trying to corral them down here to get into the pig shelter. So once they get in there, we can make another plan. Maybe Dominic has a plan, I have no idea.
Unless they
So if you guys want to play by play, we're just watching the pigs, who should not even be in here, eat Dominic's grass that he's been watching grow very intently for the past year or so. That was not for them, it was for the sheep. Where do you want me to stand?
They get in there.
got them cornered into the old pig shelter. They don't mind it there. Dominic is gone to lock up the sheep and then bring over the sheep netting. We tried to buy new sheep netting today, but it wasn't available there, so we have to go pick it up in town. So it would have been really nice to have the sheep netting. That's okay.
I know, they'll be out again. But this is good. Get this done now and then.
They came right to me last time.
Yep. Want me to get in there and get them to you?
Get it back like from here.
Yep, tangle.
We have them all corralled in. Dominic put the netting up. He grabbed one, and the other one's escaped, which is fine because he's got one. He's moving it down. Hopefully, they are really tired. So hopefully we can corral them back up to the shelter.
Grab it hard and tight. I'm sorry, honey.
No, don't do that. Just do it.
Come on, buddy, I'll lift you in, it'll be over.
Oh, yes! Holy smokes!
Let's get that wire right there. Alright, everyone go away. Stand 20 feet back.
The pigs were up in the shelter, up at the top. The plan was to keep them all in there and Dominic would take them one by one. So he took one and then that was successful. He carried that one down to here, but while he was doing that, the other pigs escaped. So we were running through. Fortunately, Amanda was able to catch one. And because they're very, very loud when you catch them, she carried it over to Dominic, who took it down to here. And the other pig heard this pig and just kind of followed down and wanted to get in with its siblings. So I guess successful at the end of the day. I'm going to go and tend to the car that has a lot of pig diarrhea in it, apparently. So, wish me luck. The car is clean. The sheep are grazing peacefully. Oh my God, I was walking down and they're like hiding in the hay and I was like, oh my God, they're not there. They are in fact there. The pigs are resting peacefully in their pig shelter.
They're still a bit nervous of us because, you know, we did chase them out through the woods a second ago and trapped them and carried them down here squealing like maniacs. I'm gonna put out some wet feed for them too and see if they want some of that tonight. Alright, the madness is over. Everything's settled down again, except for the black flies. So the unload, as you saw, didn't go very well. Number of factors there is that when I was putting one in, I probably should have instructed someone to close the cage door for me. Then the other ones couldn't have gotten out like they did. And once they were bouncing out of the back of the car like that, it was way too exciting for them and they popped through the fence. The wires were there. I think I might have underestimated how small they were going to be. I thought they were going to be a little bigger. So they were able to fit like in between the rungs of the fence, which is really weird. Also, we had an entire peanut gallery there, including a couple of children that don't listen all that well. So mine included. So that wasn't helping me. I wasn't very focused. I was trying to keep Jeannie away and stuff when she was keeping on coming over. I didn't want her to get pig poop on her or anything, so I was completely distracted by that. And the pigs were in a new place with, you know, half a dozen or 10 people standing up, ogling them, making noise and stuff. So it was the perfect recipe for a bad initiation, basically. So if you want a checklist of things you shouldn't do, that's it. Also, I didn't have the fence on correctly, so it was giving little baby taps. There was hardly any juice coming out of it. So yeah. We got that all figured out now. So they're very quiet compared to last year's pigs. Last year's pigs get shocked and you'd hear the squeal so far away. these ones are pretty stoic or something. I don't know, or the ground rods are too dry, and they're not getting hit that hard. I put the tester on it. It says it's at 6,700 volts. That should be loads, boatloads for this. So, yeah, I wonder what's going on there. I'm not sure, but they seem pretty chilled out now. They wouldn't. They don't want to come out and eat really. I don't blame them. They're probably exhausted after that wild pig chase. And yeah, so I guess the upside is a lot of lessons learned. There's a lot of things I'll be doing differently next time. That's not going to happen again. So, yeah, but all's well that ends well, I guess. Buddy, how'd you get out there? You're supposed to be with your friends. Oh, buddy, you're gonna hurt yourself. Poor little guy. Stay in there. Don't be getting out no more.